If you guys did not see my video yesterday we went over the top 14 best rushing playbooks in college football 26. Today, we're going to be going over the top 10 best passing playbooks. If you're wondering what site I'm using, it's CFB Fan. Link will be down in the description. It's the same thing we all use for college football 25. They got all the updated playbooks and stuff for college football 26. And not only we're going to be going through these playbooks, I'm going to give you guys the playbooks. We're going to go through some, really meta formations in these playbooks, some cool new plays, because EA really, they weren't lying. They added some really new plays, a lot of new plays that are going to be really good. But let's go ahead and get right into the list, man. Now, I also do want to say that this list is in no particular order. I'm just giving you guys the 10 playbooks that I think day one are going to be really good playbooks. I went through most of these playbooks. It kind of helped that I went through all of them yesterday when looking through the rushing playbooks, and I kind of just made notes as I went through that. So hopefully you guys like these playbooks. But this is going to lead us to our very first playbook, which is going to be UCLA. I don't know if anybody ran UCLA last year. I never heard anything about a UCLA, but this year, man, UCLA looks really good. And the one thing I also do want to say, almost every playbook in this game, EA gave bunch, some form of bunch. If it's just bunch offset, bunch strong, the millions of different bunch strongs, the bunch wides, there's so much bunch they added to every playbook. I think every playbook has some variant of that in the game. And also, they all kind of have some variant of like a trips tight end. Maybe not just trips tight end, but you know how they have like the trips weak side or stuff like that. And it's very similar to or trips offset, whatever it's called. Almost every playbook in this game, I want to say, is kind of viable in a way, but obviously there's going to be ones that are better than others. But let's go ahead and talk about this UCLA, man. So the first thing with UCLA we got to talk about is, man, the bunch. I call it the old school bunch, the 1990s bunch, because this was like the first bunch we really ever had in Madden that everybody ran for so long. And I mean, I'm sure it was in college football 25, but you didn't see it. But it's definitely going to be making a return. And I don't know if this is maybe a bug or what's it called, because if you guys remember, what happened with bunch of Madden was like the original just bunch, you weren't able to block the tight end on the line anymore. He actually wasn't even really lined up on the line anymore, so you couldn't block the tight end, which kind of hurt when trying to block blitzes and different stuff. In this little like play art on the website, it does show the tight end on the line here. Or he might not, because you can kind of see in these some of the run plays like he's kind of on the line. So I don't know if we're going to be able to block the tight end out of this. I'm not going to say we are, but if we can, it's going to be pretty lethal. But if we just look at some of these plays, man, this UCLA bunch, I mean, it's got a bunch of stuff. You got bunch sail, nasty play. I know you got bunch trail. I was always a bunch trailer. Bunch trail was really good, just a nasty play. You got your verts. You got to have your verts. And then who remembers this play? Clear out, the clear out play. This is, man, I mean, this is, oh, man, I know you guys remember this play. I don't even know if this was in college football 25. I feel like you don't even see this in Madden that much anymore, but this used to be like the money play, and UCLA is kind of like a trip back a little bit, but ton of really good plays in here. This deep flood play, that's a quick snapper right there. And I think something that's really unique in this playbook too is that they have this this RPO alert zone hitch. It's a new play. And I think something that's really unique about it is because there's only one RPO you can throw right here, the little hitch. A lot of times guys will, they're outside third, their corner on that solo receiver on the bunch side. That could be a free little just, 4 or 5 yards to pick up real quick just because, they're backing their guy off us. So I think this is a really good bunch. There's also a ton of doubles in this playbook. I don't want to say it's the most I've ever seen out of any playbook, but you can see you got like 4 different doubles that you'll be able to kind of audible around to and mess around with. So if you like doubles a whole lot, you'll probably like this playbook as well. I've ran doubles a little bit myself, but taking a look at this double offset weak, there's some pretty good plays here. Now, we're not going to talk about the run plays because we're only allowed to talk about passing in this video, so I'm going to try to keep myself tame. But I guess my question is, do we count RPOs? Because, I mean, RPO is technically a pass, even though I count it as a run play. We're going to have to mix in some RPO talk here. In this doubles formation, you got some crazy stuff. Look, doubles isn't anything crazy. It's exactly what you think it is, but there's some really nice plays you got in here. You got this sail player in here, which is really nice. You got a zig route on the tight end. Any type of zig route on a tight end is a great play because it's not something you can hot route to, and it's just gonna kill everything. It gets right underneath zones. It destroys man. And then if we start looking at this doubles Y off, it starts getting a little freaky. I know when I look at the run, talk about runs in this video, but the fake jet pass power. Hold on, buddy. What's going on with that? But there's some really nice plays in here too. You got the basic flood. It's just a very simple concept, something you could always go to in quick snap. I've always been a big fan of that. This little slot angle play looks kind of nasty. You got a little drag and then this little angle route route from the slot. I think that's pretty cool. Then you got the slot fade. Now, a play like this, you would want to hot route a lot of stuff around it, but you run this play because you get that slot fade. So some really good stuff in here too. I even think the PA scissors is a little bit of an underrated play. It actually does say it's a new play because you got this corner route that's running, God knows how deep he's running, but he's going to get past any pretty much zone drop depth, which obviously we could stem zones now, so but any default zone drop, that corner out's probably getting right past. Moving on to the very last doubles formation in here. It's got some really good stuff in here as well. It actually has a quarterback power. Quarterback power, that's really interesting. It's got some screens, got your RPOs. This is a new play right here. This play looks really cool. Shot, halfback wheel. You got a crosser from the slot, a delayed little cross from the tight end. That's going to be a very underrated route. Post route from the outside receiver, and the tight end's on one of them nasty little wheel routes. That's not a wheel route you can hot route. Those are them nasty ones where they run it all the way up that sideline, man. So that's a really good play. One more play I think we'll talk about in here is this sprint slot rollout, another new play. Looks like something you could maybe try to quick snap. It says it's okay. I thought it said rollout. Never mind. Some of the plays where they say rollout, it'll default have you kind of roll out. But yeah, another play looks pretty cool. The next formation we're gonna look at in this playbook is tight open. You guys know tight has always been really good. I remember Madden 23, I think is where it was the most meta, but it's still really good formation. And in this UCLA playbook, you're going to see why it's very unique. There's a bunch of these auto motion plays in here, which could really be a game changer. But overall, I mean, we're not going to go through every single play in here, but you can see this is a very good version of tight. Like, you have almost everything in here, and you can see some of these auto motion plays right here. Fake jet halfback seam, where the receiver is going to just kind of come, and it's kind of like basically like a little flat route he's going to run. And that's pretty good because, look, they even have a jet sweep out of this playbook. Now, usually these plays have a little distinctive tell when you can tell when it's a jet sweep and when it's not. I don't know if those pass plays are going to have that, and if they don't, that's going to be really big. So this tight could be really nasty. You got another one right here. This one's from the running back. I mean, look how many there is. You got another one where the receiver comes in motion. He runs like a little, kind of like a little out route. That play right there is going to be really nasty. I'm not going to lie. Because you got the post route on the backside. You got a hitch right there. This play right here, motion flood, that might be the one. But honestly, all these motion plays are really good. You got this one right here where the receiver is he's going to run over, and you think he's going to run a little out route like in the flood. No, he's going to stop and run a little hitch. These are, EA might have cooked with these. You got a speed option in here. I mean, there is so much you have to worry about in this tight. This UCLA tight is going to be a problem. Another formation we'll take a look at in here is going to be trips Y over. This was in college football 25. You didn't really see too many people run it. It's kind of unique. So you got a tight end on line of scrimmage, and it's kind of like a reverse trips tight end, if that makes any sense. You got everybody just on the same side. All your receivers, your running back, the tight end, everybody's just on one side. And I don't know. It's a little different. I don't know how good it would really be. The RPO out of it looks really nice. Besides that, I don't know. I think this sprint corner play is a cool little quick snap play. So I think there's a little bit of potential with this one. We'll finish this playbook off talking about the wide trips because it got some pretty good wide trips. I'm a guy that ran a pretty decent amount of wide trips in my time. I think this wide trips has a bunch of stuff you can quick snap. One, you got this little RPO flat right here. You guys know how good that is. You got the basic flood concept. You got some more RPOs. PAY flood's a really good play. I think there's a lot of just quick snap ability in this playbook. This is a new play right here. PA boop. I think it's another play you can kind of just quick snap. You could probably put the tight end on a little sum and then kind of quick snap that. And then looking at the wide trips off weak side, it's gonna be the last formation we look at in here. It's got a bunch of stuff where the running back is kind of going in motion. So you got the motion swing where you could throw it to him, and then it's got the dummy ones where it's got actual plays built off it. Like the motion Z spot, I think is the one I like a lot out of it. But even the pump and go is still pretty good. So I think the wide trips are pretty solid. I don't think it's anything too crazy, but overall, this UCLA playbook, really good playbook. Definitely recommend checking this one out. Like I said, this list is in no particular order. We're just going through the 10 playbooks that I like the most, passing the ball out of. Number 2, we're going over to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh last year, used it a little bit because I used Pitt in the regs a little bit. Pretty basic playbook. There wasn't anything crazy out of it. This year, man, totally revamped the Pitt playbook, and it is looking really good. You could just take a little glimpse. You got a ton of bunch in here, and if you're a guy that likes to run tight, there is a ton of tight. You got some trips tight end variants. We're going to get into this one. This is a good playbook. Now, plays and stuff that we've already kind of talked about, I'm not going to harp on them. I'll just kind of briefly say, hey, they got that play in there, and that's that. so we don't try to, make this an hour-long video. But first thing we're going to look at is Pitt Playbook's going to be the bunch strong wide. I know they had bunch wide in 25. I don't know if they had bunch strong wide. I don't really know what the difference was. I guess the difference would be you have the far side receiver lined up a little bit inside. It's actually a very underrated formation. This clear out FLN is a very good play. You got a speed option out of this thing. We got some more of these auto motion plays. The orbit Z spot looks like that. Honestly, I think they all look really good. The orbit Z spot, the motion extra plays, because they build off things, right? You see this guy in the Z spot, motion over, you think he's gonna be on a flat. Then in the extra place, what does he do? He sits down on a little hitch. So a lot of really good stuff. I like this one a lot. Then moving on to the bunch wide. This is the one that I remember they had in 25. I don't remember the strong. Like I said, the only difference I think is that the outside, but see, the outside receiver still looks like he's lined up inside. I don't know. If you guys know what the difference is, let me know. There's some really good stuff in here too. Some more auto motion ones. The cheat flood play looks absolutely disgusting. He runs a wheel route, but it's in motion. That's pretty nasty. Bench return is going to be a good play. Any type of play that has some type of inside zig route is always nasty, especially when you got the drag running over the middle. It's going to take away the user pretty much. That's a great play right there. Clear out FLN, another great play. I don't know how I almost skid past this play. This is a brand new play right here. Cheat flood return. I mean, you got a little flood concept going on right there, right? And then you got this guy just doing whatever the hell he's doing. Honestly, all these motion plays they have added look really good. And then, of course, you got your normals in here. You got your verticals. You got your wide trail. I don't know how popular this bunch is going to be compared to other bunches, because you can see there's no blocking the tight end. The guys are lined up a little bit wider to the outside, but I've went against the people that have ran this in 25, and they've ran it really good, and it's a good formation. I think this is our last bunch in the playbook. I'm only going over the formations that I actually like stuff out of it. The bunch wide nasty, a lot of it's the kind of same stuff we've reiterated on, but one thing I thought that was really cool and unique about it is the inside zone in it has one of those dummy motion plays. So like you think the guy's gonna, run whatever motion he's been doing the whole time, he's gonna run, get open. No, you ran an inside zone out of it. So that could really help if somebody wants to hurry up and pass commit or something like that. So many things you can work off of with these motions. For any of you guys out there that do like to run empty, they got empty bunch quads. This is probably my favorite empty in the game. I'm not a big empty guy because I don't like getting screamed at, but this is probably my favorite one. It's got all the basic stuff. There's nothing pretty much new in it. I don't know if you can block the tight end on the line in it. In the play art, it looks like you would be able to, which if you can would be pretty big, but I like this Pitt playbook a lot, man. So there's a couple different, there's like two or three different double formations. There's nothing crazy about it. It's all the normal stuff you would think about in doubles, but in the gun doubles, Y off weak side, something I want to look at. If we scroll to the bottom here, it's a brand new play, Y return mesh rewind. It looks like, if I'm not mistaken, right, the tight end acts like, I don't know, it looks like he ends up running a corner route by the end of the route, but he does like some little motion. I'm not sure what's going on right there. I don't even know if it's the tight end running that, but if that is like the tight end running some type of weird motion and it turns into a corner route, that would be like almost unstoppable. I don't know what's going on there. You guys let me know. I'm guessing what happens is, because if you look at the player right next to it, he's running a crosser. I think the tight end like backs up, acts like he's going to run across the line to the left, comes back, realigns, and then runs his route. If that's the case, man coverage, that's not getting stopped, I would think. So kind of cool. But like I said at the beginning of talking about this Pitt playbook, one of the things I think that's the most unique about it is there's a ton of tight in this playbook. You got tight wide off weak side, tight wide off flex, and all of it's really good. You can see in the gun tight wide off, you got this flood drive play, very, very good play. PA slot cross is a really good play, or you could go PA go slot cross, whichever one you like more. I kind of like the slot cross more. There's a jet touch pass out of it. Anything that's got a jet touch pass is always going to be nice. And then lastly, you got these two RPOs in here. With the RPO alert bubble, I like this one a little bit more. Really, really, really good play, because if their corners are like just a little bit backed up off them, Y's going to go out and block that guy, and the RPO is pretty much free. So that's a really good play in the red zone. And then last, you got this tight end corner play. So this is a really good variant of tight Y off. Moving on to the next type, we got tight Y off flex. You can see we got some brand new stuff in here. Off the rip, I love this flood levels play a whole lot. We have this one right here. I don't think we've ever seen this in a modern football game. Motion crack toss. So it's one of those little halfback toss plays, which, by the way, are really good plays. Depending if play built in with the pullers, they actually pull. They're always really good. It has like a little jet sweep with it, so that guy's gonna lead block. This play could be nasty, and they even have a version of it where it's a counter. We all know counters aren't really the best in this game, but this toss play could be crazy. They also have this one. It's a new play action tight end wheel. So the tight end's gonna run all the way across the line and run a wheel. Now on paper, it looks great and all, but he's probably going to get bumped, and he'll damn near never even run the wheel route. So that kind of sucks. But forget all that. This little post route from Y, that's looking nasty. If you're a person that likes to run bunch, if you're a person that likes to run tight, you've got to like what you see so far. And I didn't mean to actually start with the two playbooks that had a ton of tight in them. I didn't mean that because we're going to get to some. They're not really going to have any tight or anything like that, but you'll see a lot of these playbooks that they have their differences that make them unique, but also make them really good. So this is going to be our last version of tight that we talk about in the Pitt playbook. It's a gun tight, Y off, weak side. It's got kind of most of the stuff we've already talked about. The dagger play looks really good. Corner strike's really good. You got the little inside zig route. Those are always great plays. We do actually have a brand new RPO in this play. It's RPO zone alert snag. The guy just kind of runs. It's like a flat route, but he kind of veers it upfield a little bit. Like maybe 3 yards, he kind of runs that upfield. So that's interesting. And then the last two plays I really like out of this. You got wide receiver under. It's kind of a slant route, but it runs a little bit deeper than a slant. You got an inside zig from the tight end. I love those. And slot cross. This little out route from the tight end is really good because one, he's not those out routes like that. One, he's going to run it deeper downfield. It's about a 2-yard out route, and he's probably not going to get stuck on the line, which is great. And then you got an inside zig out of it. We love a good inside zig. We're going to talk about wing trips. You probably didn't think we talk about any wing trips in this video, but Pitt has a very interesting wing trips. It's very, I don't want to say it's kind of similar to a wide trips because I don't know what defines what the actual differences in them, but you got a tight end on the line, you got 3 wide receivers to the right, and you got a running back. So it's very similar to a wide trips, if you know what I mean. But we're going to talk about this wing trips because you're going to see they have a ton of new plays in here, and some of it looks crazy. So first off, you'll see this RPO right here, cheat RPO alert zone screen. I don't even know who are you throwing it to here to besides X, because you'll see on the right there's actually a built-in motion where Y looks like he's actually going to run up field behind B. I don't even know what's going on there. That looks like that might be insane. And then if we look to the right, it has something very similar to that. I know you guys remember this RPO where you had the option to throw in a streak. You had RB who would be on like the little, I guess like a flat bubble type thing you could throw. And now, but RB's not running a flat little bubble type thing. He's running up field behind B. So is B gonna like literally block the guy in front of him and you could just throw RB kind of a wheel route RPO? I don't even know how this is gonna work. This is a good play right here though. Halfback swing. This is not a new play. It's a new play in this formation, but I've seen this out of different formations. It's kind of like a screen, basically. It's a really good play, though. I personally think PA post curl is a very underrated play. I don't know, it just fits my route combo style so much. It's not a new play by any means, but it's so simple. I think you could just quick snap this with ease, in my opinion. Put A on like a little drag, and man, you're good to go. There's a speed option in here. Now, I know we're not supposed to be talking about run plays, but damn it, I'm going to talk about these playbooks. Return speed option. So it's just a normal speed option, which I don't even know if there was a speed option in wing trips, whatever the fuck we're in. I don't even know what we're in anymore. I don't think there was ever a speed option in there at any point, but there is now, and it looks like the tight end is actually going to go out there and physically lead block, man. Woo! It's getting crazy out here. And then, of course, you got your little RPO, peak Y flat. I know you guys remember that play out of it. That's always a really good play. And then you got this sprint out slot corner. This looks like a great little quick snap play. So, wing trips, looking pretty good. We're also going to take a look at the wing trips weak nasty. Like I said, all this stuff is very similar to like a Y trips, maybe even a U trips. I guess that might be the real way to kind of put it. So if you like those formations, you will like these. You got this brand new play right here, PA crossers. It's a lot going on. It's not my cup of tea. It's like a deep mesh type concept, I guess you could put with it. Some of you guys might like that. I don't know. I'm going to get sacked, I feel like, running that. This stick and nod play, it looks like it would be great. Personally, how I'd run it, I'm taking A off that little, whatever you want to call that, streak, zig. I don't know what you want to call that. I'm putting him on a normal streak, and then you got X, who's kind of lined up in the slot a little bit. You can see he's kind of lined up inside. He's on an outside zig. You got an inside zig. And double zigs are great, man. I love me some double zigs. I also think this shuffle wheel wide drag will be a really good play. I don't know how I feel about the little tiny cuts they got in between them. I might just put RB on a normal post. I think B is fine with that because he's going to kind of run a delayed drag-ish slant type of route, which is always good. And then get into some of our little auto motion plays. We got Y motion bench ends. Tight end's gonna come across the line and run a little out route. I like this a whole lot. It's like a kind of like a little levels concept. It's good. And X is running that corner route, which is great because he's not lined up on the outside. He's kind of lined up in the slot. So I think that's kind of an underrated play too. And then a play you can kind of build off that is the Y motion flood, where you think the tight end's going to motion over, think he's going to run out route. Nope, he actually runs up and runs about a 10-yard hitch, and you got a deep post right on the backside. I like that a whole lot. They also do have wide trips in this playbook. I'm not really going to talk a whole lot about it. It's kind of the basic stuff you think about in the wide trips. Nothing really too new, nothing too crazy. The one play I do kind of, well, two plays I want to highlight in it, though, is it's got this slot drive play. I think this is a great quick snap play. You got the deep post, a couple things over the middle streak. And then you got a speed option in it. So this video is probably going to be a lot longer than the one we did yesterday. And we're doing less playbooks, ironically. But I want to go in depth with these playbooks. I want to make sure we really talk about these playbooks so you guys understand. I feel like we sped ran it a little bit with the stuff yesterday. We kind of briefly just talked about the formation and a couple plays. I got to make sure you guys get everything you need to know. But for our very third playbook we're going to talk about Maryland. I mean, some of these playbooks, I think these three playbooks we're talking about here, I don't even know if these playbooks were used last year in College Football 25. I mean, we're talking about UCLA, we're talking about Pittsburgh and Maryland. We got a lot more. So starting off with Maryland, we're going into bunch offset. Once again, I don't even know if bunch offset was in College Football 25. I literally don't know. And if it was, the playbook it was in probably wasn't that good, because I don't think I ever once saw bunch offset in the entire game. Now, it had to have been in the game, because you know how like it'll say new in 26. It doesn't say that for anything but one play. But I'm not going to go too crazy in depth with this. I mean, you can see it's your standard bunch. You got the little RPO play we talked about in UCLA. This is different from the one in UCLA, though, because this is bunch offset. UCLA was just straight up bunch, so I don't know if we'll be able to block the tight end in these bunches. I know in bunch strong you can. I think bunch offset you can block the tight end. I don't know if you're going to be able to do it in standard bunch, though. So it looks really good, though. You got your flood, you got your Z sposh, smash return, verticals. You got everything you need. Dig return for the red zone. Maryland also does have the bunch strong wide, so this is something you can maybe audible to really quickly. I don't know how. I think this one is definitely different than who else had it. Was it Pitt or was it, I think Pitt and UCLA both might have had it. I don't remember, but you got some of those auto motion plays like the lead swing Z spot. I want to say most of the. I think this playbook's a little different with some of their motion stuff. I think UCLA and Pitt didn't really have the motion plays, if I'm not mistaken, out of this bunch strong wide. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm forgetting. We're doing a lot of talking here, but you can see it's got some of that with the motion. Lead, swing, Z spot. The running back's going to go out wide. Some other build also that too. You got the levels. The running back kind of seems like he runs the same thing every time. You're probably thinking, why don't I just put him on a normal flat route? I mean, if you're going to put your running back on a route and not block him, it's kind of better to leave him on that, though, because actually the route that he's going to run out of that motion is going to be better than a normal flat route or a swing route. So if you're not going to block him, it's good to leave him on it. And then, of course, you got a speed option. You can never go wrong with a speed option, man. This is the first time we've talked about this formation the whole video, but we got normal Y off close. You kids love this formation. You know why, because it's got your bread and butter play. Y sail. Play I've been running for years. Obviously, mine's a little bit different because my receiver's out wide. He's not lined up in the slot, but I've been known about Y sail. But, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to talk about for the Y off close. If you guys have ran it, you already kind of know about it. You got the escape, the Y sail, which is probably the only play you even need out of it. There's nothing really new in it, but very meta formation. And if you wonder why it's so meta real quick, I'll kind of give you a breakdown. You guys know it, so you might, if you want to skip, go ahead and skip. But it's because instead of a normal doubles or like something like that, where B, for example, the clear out streak would be lined up here on the numbers on the outside, he's lined up in the slot, so it just creates a mismatch. A lot of times you can bomb it, it gets behind a deep path, stuff like that. And then, you know, you can still actually motion a running back out wide, for example, or anybody. You can motion them over out wide, and then it's, you know, it just creates mismatches. You kind of see. This playbook also has trips tight end. I don't even know if we've talked about trips tight end. I could be wrong. So think about it. This playbook has bunch offset, trips tight end, and normal Y off. Arguably like the three most meta things in all of online football gaming. So this is like, it's almost like a creative playbook. It's insane. And the trips tight end is very unique. I don't even think I've ever seen this play in my life. Double under. It doesn't say it's a new play. The slots on the fade. You got two in routes. This looks nasty. How this is in the game last year? But the auto motion plays have also infested the trips tight end playbook. Not in a bad way, in a good way. You got this little motion play where the slot guy is actually going to come over and run a little flat route, so that's really interesting. And then you have this one. They have added an RPO read flat in trips tight end. Things are about to get crazy this year, man. Trips tight end is going to get even nastier. So if you don't know how RPO read flat works, a guy that's able to catch the RPO, which is going to be X, is going to run across the line and you can throw him a flat. You've probably seen it before. Usually the plays you saw it for in 25 were mostly with tight ends. Well, now a wide receiver is going to be able to run it. This looks really nasty. They also have a quarterback power in this trips tight end in Maryland. This Maryland trips tight end is nasty. There's a speed option. You got everything. You got a speed option, a quarterback power, an RPO flat. I mean, holy shit, and you got all the stuff you need out of trips. You got your verticals. You got Y shallow cross, X spot, everything. This is disgusting. PA shot wheel. I know you kids love your PA shot wheel. And it doesn't stop there. There's also a trips tight end offset. Now, it doesn't really look as good. I think the only thing... Well, actually, I'm lying. What am I talking about? It looks great. You have your normal RPO bubble, another speed options, exact same thing. There's nothing really different about it, but you got that RPO. You guys know how annoying that RPO is. And then you got tight end N, which is a really good play. I love that play a whole lot. And X under. So you have literally... I mean, Maryland is like a created playbook that the game just made for you. So Maryland also has a brand new formation. This is brand new. That was not in the game last year. It's wing trio, very similar to a wide trips, as you can see, and it's got some pretty good stuff in here, man. We got the whip deep flood. It's a so the receiver lines up on the outside and he runs, you know, I guess you could call it a motion zig, out route, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it a zig. And then this player right here is going to be nasty. He's going to kind of run up into motion and it's going to turn into a slant. But see, you see how that works though, because you don't know when he's motioning, is he going to be running the out route or is he going to be running the slant route now? So just really good build up stuff, all that. You got your RPO stuff, RPO zone alert weak, which this is a good one because Y comes over and it's going to block the guy in front of B. So pretty nice little formation. Another brand new formation in Maryland that was not in 25. We got wing trio weak side, so it's another variant of a wide trips, I like to call it. And it's got some more crazy motion stuff. You have this guy right here. And then, by the way, the formation looks very similar to the other one, so you can kind of audible around to both of those and kind of throw them off to fit. You know, they might not know what you're in, but there's a motion play with a guy, you know, he's going to run up and just run up a straight up 20-yard cross. So now you don't know if this guy running the 5-yard out route, is he running the 6-yard slant. Oh, no, he's running a 20-yard cross. Oh, and there's another one where he can run about a 25-yard corner route or C route. I mean, yeah, this is very underrated. I don't know how much this is going to get utilized, but you can make a scheme out of this. Then it's also got the wing trips, which I think we just kind of touched up on in Pitt, so I'm not going to go too crazy on it, but you got your little RPO flat play, which is really good, and then, you know, pretty much all the basic stuff. And that right there is the Maryland playbook. I think this is definitely, possibly, I don't know, my opinion, maybe the best playbook we've looked at so far. I don't know. It's nasty. Playbook number 4, we're going to be going over to Georgia. I think Georgia was definitely a little bit of a meta playbook last year. I don't know. I ran Charlotte, man. I'm out the loop. But Georgia looks pretty good, so we're going to get right into it. So Georgia's got your normal bunch, which, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Georgia had like straight up just normal bunch last year. I want to say, if any of you guys out there ran Georgia, let me know. But it's got your basics. You got bench pivot, bench trail, cross, dig return, flood. Not really anything too new here. I think there's a lot more plays in it though. I mean, there's a lot of, this has to be a new play. Motion RPO alert bubble out of bunch. I've never seen this a day in my life. And then there's also motion curls out of this. How is this one not new? I've never seen it. But yeah, when you think of bunch, it's got all of it. You got mesh spot up in there. You know, who remembers that one play? So imagine mesh spot, but B was on like a post route. Who remembers that play? I feel like that play is just like disappeared from existence. And it also has cluster halfback strong. I don't know if Georgia had cluster. I don't know how different this playbook is from the Georgia playbook last year. I can't really speak on it, but cluster is very good. It's kind of like another form of a bunch. It's kind of like bunch strong, but you cannot block the tight end. He's kind of, and it kind of throws you off a little bit because it looks like the tight end in a lot of these is like on the line. But he's not. Like, he's not. He's kind of lined up out wide. But cluster's really good. You got post dig, which is a really good play. Z spots, great. Verticals. There's a little bit of some motion stuff in there with the tight end. I would assume that was in there last year. I didn't really run cluster a whole lot, but it's a really good formation. There's also doubles offset in here. A lot of doubles I don't really talk about because of a lot of it's kind of generic in my opinion, but I think this is a really good doubles. You got FL spot, which I think is a really good quick snap play. Fade smash, you always love that fade to, you know, put a lot of hot routes out there and it could be really good. Dagger's good. I think this doubles has a lot of good stuff where you could just kind of quick snap, PA, go, post dig, just, you know, probably put one hot rod out there and then kind of snap that thing. Georgia playbook also has gun trio, which is, I'm just going to say it, it's basically just trips tight end, just with a different name. I think the only difference is you can see like the outside, the receivers are kind of lined up, like somewhere on the line, some guys are off the line, but For the most part, it's trips tight end. You got flood in here, which is good. You actually have a jet sweep now in this version of a trips tight end, which I don't know how good this would really be because you're running the jet sweep to the side where there's nobody. I know it says the running back's going to lead block. How many jet sweeps have you seen it where a guy was supposed to lead block and they don't even touch anybody? So I don't know how good that's actually going to be. They also have PA slot corner, really good play. You got your standard RPO alert bubble in here. You got your good old verticals, a speed option. Speed options are becoming a norm now, aren't they? Now this is brand new play right here. Jet PA halfback wheel. Running back's actually going to run a wheel route to the opposite side of the field. Slot receiver's going to come in motion and basically run a little flat route. I don't know how good this play is going to be. There's a lot going on with it, but there's definitely some potential. They also have another version of trips tight end. Trips tight end offset weak side. It's pretty good. I mean, you got flood drive, really solid play. Middle slant is nasty. There's some new stuff in here too. There's read wide corner. I know a lot of you guys love your read wide corner. I actually like it a whole lot myself. And there's, so actually I thought this was new. I guess supposedly none of this is new. There's return post wide curl. I guess there's really no point of it because you would rather probably just run read wide corner and not have him motion. So I thought that was new, but then this one has to be new. How is this not? Return RPO alert swing. The guy on the RPO is like literally just running right behind the blockers before the play. I don't know what's going on here. There's also some wing trips in this playbook, which we've kind of talked about in the last couple of playbooks. You got post curl, which is a really good play. PA flood. Pretty much most of the standard stuff we've talked about. You got your RPO flat. And that's pretty much the Georgia playbook. One of the unique things you're getting in it is, man, you're getting bunch and cluster, which they might have already had that last year. I'm really not sure. Then you're getting a ton of trips tight end stuff. So really good playbook. Playbook number 5. We're going to be talking about Duke. I don't know if Duke was, in the loop last year. I want to say it wasn't. I haven't really heard too much about it. But, man, it needs to be this year. So, starting off with Duke, you got your bunch strong. It's got your normal stuff in there. You got flood, a dagger, all that good stuff, but wide trail. But it's got some really weird stuff in here. You got a crack toss in it, which I feel like the crack toss out of bunch strong was pretty solid. It wasn't too bad. You got the RPO alert screen, but you guys know how annoying that play could be out of bunch strong. And then this is a brand new one. It's got a speed option to the opposite side of all the action. So, I think Duke has definitely one of the most unique bunches out there. Now, it also has bunch strong wide, which is really cool. You can kind of audible to this. Pretty much the standard stuff we've talked about in it. In the other playbooks, I'm not going to harp on it. Duke has a brand new formation in the game. It's gun, bunch, trio open. So it's bunch, but I'll be honest, it kind of just looks like a bunch wide. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's going to be that good in my opinion, just because of how wide they're kind of lined up. Those wider formations, man, like the other ones we talked about are fine, like the bunch wide and all that stuff. Because it's not actually lined up out wide. The bunch trio open, this looks like a wide because they're lined up hella wide, and it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be that good, but it's a brand new formation. There is tight Y off weak side in here as well. It looks really good. You got smash wide pivot, wide receiver under, slot cross. Probably one of the weaker tights we've seen, but still pretty solid. I got gun trio in here, which is essentially trips tight end, curl flat. You can see a PA slot corner. You got your RPO bubble, standard trips tight end stuff. You got a speed option in here as well. So I don't think Duke's really, it's not a lot of brand new stuff in here, but it's got a lot of the stuff you need. But one of the biggest reasons I put them on here is because you could see their bunch strong was very different. The last thing we'll talk about Duke is it does have some wide trips. It's also not anything too crazy, but it's just got what you need, man. You got the RPO flat in there. You got a bubble in there as well. It's got some really good stuff. You got whip smash, good little quick snap play. It's got a bunch of quick snap stuff, PA flood, and all that stuff. Curls, I know it's a very basic play, but certain hot routes you can make in there will make it really good. So I think Duke, it's not anything too crazy. It's got just what you need, but the reason I put it on here, man, is their bunch strong. Just so unique. You got the speed option, you got the bubble, you got the crack toss out of it. Just nasty. I think this is our 6th playbook we're on. I don't even know at this point. We're going to Boston College, though. It just says Boston on here, but this is Boston College, I would assume. I don't think there's any other Boston school. Boston's going to be our first school we talk about that actually does not have bunch. I think everybody we've talked about to this point has had bunch, so they're the first one that doesn't. So if you're someone that doesn't really care about bunch a whole lot, this might be your playbook. We're going to start off with the doubles flex. Like I said, we haven't talked about doubles a whole lot in this video, because for me to talk about your doubles, it's got to be worth talking about. It's got to be some stuff in there that's really worth it, and I think their doubles flex has that. There's a couple plays in here I really like. You got the drag under. I think it's a really good quick snap play. It's nothing spectacular. You got the little mesh concept going, and you got the corner out from the tight end. Hell, you could even streak the tight end. You can do something like that. Just a really good quick snap play. Very similar to mesh Y corner. Something you could also do with that. And then they got this brand new play in here. Orbit RPO alert swing. They definitely could be RPO year, man. I'm seeing a lot of different RPO stuff. The receiver is going to come in motion. The outside receiver is going to come in motion, and he's going to run a RPO right behind B, who's going to be able to try to, block for him. Pretty nasty. And then they also got an RPO in here, which I think is one of the most underrated RPOs in the game. RPO peak slant. Really, you only notice to throw it to RB, the tight end running the flat route, which is really good against man coverage. And then, of course, they got an old reliable in here, man. Z spot. You can never go wrong with a little Z spot in your life. And then they got a couple new plays in here. They got this Z close motion levels. A lot of this is mesh concepts. Same thing with Z close motion mesh spots. A lot of mesh type concepts, but a lot of it's really good quick snap stuff. Just get to the line and kind of snap it. And I think something you could do really creative coming out in that doubles, if you really want to, you can audible to this double stack right here, and you can run some really annoying RPOs. I mean, look, we hate when these guys come out in these little stack stuff. We know there's only a couple things they're running. They're running RPO. It's a handoff up the middle, or it's just straight up verticals, which is exactly what the play sheet looks like. But if you come out in the doubles offset, audible to something like this, then you try to hit them with a little quick RPO, could be kind of annoying. We're going to be talking about some more tight, man. If you're got that sounded crazy. Tight, man, what is going on? We're going to be talking about the formation tight some more. I think that's a better way to put it. So if any of you guys out there aren't really a big fan of tight, probably won't be a fan of some of the stuff we've talked about, but I mean, that's why a lot of these playbooks we've touched about, we've touched on trips, we've touched on tight, we've touched on bunch, we've touched on doubles, normal Y off, we've touched on a bunch of different stuff. I think did we talk about empty? I think we talked about empty a little bit. So we're getting something out there for everybody. Now, for you two tight end savages like me, you gotta just wait. I'll give you my breakdown of the only playbook that's gonna have what us nasty individuals want, but for now we gotta appeal to the masses. So let's talk about some tight end flex. I don't think there's anything out the norm with this. It's your pretty standard stuff. Bench, mesh spot. It does have some brand new little built-in motion plays, but I don't think. I mean, I guess it's not bad. Who's running this? This is the running back that's running this. Wait a minute. How does the running back? In the play art, it says he starts out wide. I'm assuming the running back runs to the left and then he runs out wide. I don't know. Not the biggest fan of it. I like this one to the left, though. Eagles mesh spot, because he actually is going to run that all the way up the sideline. So that's the only one I actually do kind of like. PA cross dig, really good play. Whips, Z spot. Abuse, double zigs. They're great. Then if we move over to tight slots open, you got a little RPO flat play in there. I don't know how good this is going to be, because the guy that's running the flat, he's not like lined up on the line of scrimmage or anything like that. I don't know how good it would be. It might be good against like man or something, because you might get a little like rub route action where B kind of gets in the guy's way. I don't know, maybe, but PA reads a really good play. And then moving over to tight Y off. Also not really a crazy amount of crazy stuff in here, but just enough to make it good enough for me to talk about. This mesh whips I think is very interesting. You got two zig routes. One of them on the tight end, that's always great. And then Y is running little funky routes, kind of like just a really, really deep corner route. So I think that could be pretty nasty. Then you got your standard RPO stuff. You got flat route. This one's with the tight end on the line, so that one's really good. And then you got the bubble where the receiver's going to block out in front of him. Tight end corner, really good play. Switch wide receiver drag's not bad, because that tight end's going to run a nasty little wheel route up the sideline. So is it the greatest tight that we've talked about? I think it was UCLA. I think they had a lot of tight. I think theirs is better, but still really good. Because like we said, this playbook doesn't really have bunch. If you're not much of a buncher, maybe you might want to go with the Boston over the UCLA. But we're not done in Boston just yet. Boston's also got themselves some gun trio halfback weak side, aka trips tight end. That's just what I'm going to call it. It does have a brand new play in here, PA cross. I don't think it's really too crazy. Like the tight end, for example, on that corner route, I'd rather have him run a default corner route, because he's going to run this one way slower compared to when you could put him on. So I don't know how crazy I am about this play. The RPO alert bubble is going to be really good. It'll be even better too if it's like a triple option type thing when the quarterback could keep it. That would be really nice. And there's also a speed option out of this, and it actually runs to the side with all the wide receivers, so really good. So actual pass play out of this, I think PA cross is cool. I think what I would do out of it, though, I'm putting A on the default corner route, and then Y. You could honestly, this isn't bad. I'm kind of just hating on the play, but you could definitely do some creative stuff with that. PAY cross isn't too bad either. I would definitely probably take the running back off of play action, maybe put him on a in route or something like that, put B on like a little zig route. So there's definitely some cool, good stuff you could do with this. And I don't know how I actually forgot about this, but this RPO alert screen off play design, it should be a really good play, because if you actually hand it off, you got guys that are pulling, and if they actually do their job, could be a really good run play. And then if B and Y get in front of the DB like they're supposed to for the RPO, I mean, that could be really annoying. So we haven't talked about wide trips a whole lot in this video. We've briefly talked about it in a couple playbooks, but we've talked about more so wing trips, if anything, which, like I said, is kind of a variant of wide trips, but this is some real wide trips we're about to talk about, and this is probably the best one that we've seen yet. I don't even know what playbook. What are we in Boston? I think we're in Boston. This play right here, flood, brand new play. Get to the line and hit A. Just get to the line and hit A. This play, and I know it's so simple, but it's going to be so good. And then they also got something you can kind of build off it with the dash flood play. Another play you can kind of hurry up and get to the line and hit A. You could probably put A on a little route real quick, because default it has the tight end kind of blocking, but some good quick snap material we're seeing right now. This play is just straight up nasty. Motion mesh rail. I don't think you understand how nasty this play is going to be. I don't think we've seen this yet. In this version of wide trips, the receiver on the left, the outside guy, well, he's not even on the outside. He's lined up in the slot. So when B is coming over to run this little, motion up the sideline, buddy, it's going to be a groundbreaker. This is the best wide trips we've seen. I'll be honest, I don't even know what the hell's going on with mesh C rail. Who's running what? Who is even the guy? Is it B, the one that's going in motion, running around? Yeah, this wide trips looks nasty. Smash return's great. You got an RPO in this. This might be your wide trips playbook right here. And then go into like your standard trips. I mean, you have your basic stuff in here. This is your normal trips. Y off trips. You still have all the good stuff. You got like a Z under. That's actually a pretty good quick snap play. Verticals, Y out's really good. You got flood. So even your basic trips is still good. And then for your last, this is the last formation we'll talk about in this playbook, but it's another trips, wide trips, weak side. Send a smash. Not the worst thing in the world. It's pretty good. You got a little RPO in there. You got strong flood. You got Z spot. Y sail, which is it makes the tight end actually run a corner route. So yeah, this is probably, if you're someone that plans on running wide trips, Boston's probably your playbook. Now we're going to move on to Bowling Green. A lot of talk about Bowling Green. My video yesterday, at the very end of it, I gave a little hint, because I said I was going to do, the top passing playbooks for my next video, and I kind of hinted at Bowling Green at the end of it. And the reason why is because I'm going through these playbooks, I'm seeing everything. I'm looking at Bowling Green, and Bowling Green has literally everything in the game. Starting off, I mean, you got your bunch offset. It actually has a bubble screen out of bunch offset. This is first time ever. We've never seen this before. So now how good is it going to be? It's going to be very comparable to the bunch strong, except the only difference is it's not an RPO. It's actually a screen play. So you don't have the option to hand it off. Your handoff would be trying to throw it to the running back in the flat if the RPO portion of it does not get open. They also have your mesh spot, which is, really good play. Then you have motion lead swing spot. So the running back's going to go out in motion and run like a little flat route. And then it looks like the tight end's actually going to go out wide and block for him. So that could be kind of nasty. And then, of course, you got your default stuff. You got your verticals. You got your Z spots. So one of the more creative bunch offsets I've ever seen. And then we have this right here. It's called bunch spread, brand new formation in the game. I'm trying to think about what's different than it formation-wise, and what I see is it looks like I think the receiver on the left is lined up out wide, so it's kind of like a bunch or a bunch offset. And then the bunch on the right, no one's lined up on the line, so it's kind of similar to like those bunch wides, I guess you could say. I'm not really too sure, but it's play-wise, there's not really anything too new in here. I mean, you got verticals, you got wide trail. The Z spot is very interesting because the running back can either sit down on a hitch or you could turn it upfield into like a, I don't even know, 17, 18-yard angle route. I think the levels dig is kind of really the only new play here, but besides that, it's kind of it's just another bunch. There's not really, it's something you can audible from the offset to this. Oh, but we're not just done yet. This playbook has all the bunches. If you're a buncher, we might have found you a home. There's bunch strong. You got bunch spread, bunch offset, bunch strong. We're not done with bunch after this either. The bunch will only continue. Bunch strong, you got the RPO, the very annoying RPO, wide trail, flood, and dagger, which is really all you need. And then you got the halfback crack toss out of it. The bunching will not stop. Bunch tight end. This is your bunch playbook. Boston, that was the last playbook. Bowling Green is going to be your playbook. I think it's the first time we've even talked about bunch tight end in the video. We got a quarterback wrap in bunch tight end. Are you kidding me, man? Yes, there's an RPO alert bubble out of it, and then it's got all of the plays you want to run out of it. I don't really run bunch tight end, so I don't really know, but I know tight end corner. It doesn't look like it has the 3 crosser play. I don't know what it's called, but it's got inside cross. But I mean, at the end of the day, you can kind of make it, even though you're not going to be able to quick snap it. So I would say it's probably not the best bunch tight end, but the fact that it's got a quarterback wrap and RPO, it's got the other standard stuff you need, definitely makes it annoying. We're also going to touch up on the doubles in it as well, because I think it has a decent enough doubles for me to talk about it. You got your standard double post play. This is a new player right here, Mills. It's really weird. So the running back's going to run like a delayed type in route, and then the tight end's going to run a delayed type of drag route. So I think that's pretty unique. It also has this play right here. I've never seen this before. It's a motion play where the outside receiver on the right is actually going to run a little crosser, and then you got a little zig route there from the slot receiver, post route over top. Pretty unique. And then you got your standard RPO alert bubble out of it. The sail dig is a really good play, and then shake halfback corner is great. The tight end's running that deep wheel right up the sideline. We love that. And we're not done cooking with the meta. For all you guys that love your normal Y off close, you got it, and you got your Y sail. So you got all the best bunches in the game. You got normal Y off. I mean, is there more to this playbook? Oh yes, of course, we're not done yet. And we got trips tight end in here. So you have normal Y off close, which you guys know how meta that was last year. You have all the meta bunches, even a brand new bunch, and you have trips tight end. This is literally a custom playbook you're getting. I mean, this is insane. And it's got all your standard pass plays. You need curl flat, you got PA post shot, and then it's got the speed option. It's got the RPO. It's got the stuff that's going to be annoying in it. Wide receiver screen is actually low-key annoying too if you're not ready for that. And then the wide trips is pretty solid too. You got a little halfback screen to the back out of it. PA flood, really good play. You got a brand new play, PA boot. Good quick snap play. So yeah, man, Bowling Green, you could argue it's probably the best playbook we've shown on here. It's definitely up there, but it's going to be a problem to play against. Playbook number 7 we're going to look at is Oregon State. Don't think this is a playbook that was talked about last year. I could be wrong. And the first thing we're going to look at in this thing right here, for any of you guys out there that are two tight end guys just like me, well, we got a brand new formation. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a brand new formation, but it's bunch A strong offset. It's just basically bunch strong with 2 tight ends. There's nothing really too new in it, I want to say. I could be wrong, but you know, if you like to run 2 tight ends, it's something you can kind of audible to really quickly. They also have bunch strong nasty in here as well, and if I'm not mistaken, I want to say this is also a 2 tight end formation. I don't know. I could be wrong on this. If it is, then you're able to actually audible between these 2 formations, but standard stuff, you got wide trail, you got RPO in there, and anything you can think about with the bunch, it's got it. And then it also has bunch X nasty as well. I don't know if these are like all 2 tight end formations. I literally don't know, but what the hell is a quarterback sweep? This is and it's to the opposite side, of course, which is going to be very annoying. But yeah, man, we've talked about so much bunch at this point. You guys could see it. You know what makes it good. It's the bunch. But I think what makes this one different is I think a lot of these are like 2 tight end sets. I think how you would probably want to run a lot of these bunches is so you could take advantage of that first one that we talked about is just run your bunch with 2 tight ends so you can audible around to all this stuff. We do also have some trips tight end in this playbook as well. Pretty much, you know, the stuff that we've already talked about, I'm not going to talk about it. The new stuff that I will talk about, we got PA deep sail in this playbook. You have a post route that's running very deep downfield. Now you have a really funky looking corner route. I don't know if this is also a play action to the running back. I can't tell. It makes it kind of look like it is. If it's not, I would actually like it a whole lot because then you're getting one of those nice in routes from the running back where they're actually running a couple yards downfield. But for the most part, it's your standard trips tight end. This playbook also does have Y off trio close. We talked about this in, I forgot what playbook it is, but I was like, this is your wide trips playbook. It might have been Boston College, I can't remember, but it's got that play in there, man. The ultimate quick snap play, flood. So it's got, I think this one has a little bit less than the Boston College playbook, but it still has some good stuff in there. It also has this. I've never seen this one before. Y off trips nasty. It's not a new formation because it would say new play by all of them, so it does not. So it's not new. I don't know if this was in what this was in last year, but it's kind of interesting. So it's just, you know, the receivers lined in really close, kind of like a some of the other wide trips out there, but then even all the wide receivers are kind of lined up really close, it feels like. So I don't know. It's not really anything too crazy. Got the RPO flat, but just a little different. I don't think I've seen this before. And looking at most of the trips, I do think it's their wide trips is a little weak, but it's got that trio close, which is really good. But something really unique I want to talk about in this playbook is the tray 4 wide receivers. So they actually have two formations in this playbook where they have 4 wide receiver sets. Now, this is nothing new. This is something that was in the game before, but I don't know how many playbooks had it to where they had multiple formations of this. So if you wanted to run 4 wide receiver lineups and no tight end, there's 2 formations that we're going to look at that you could do that in. And it's going to be this one, tray wide receiver 4. And it actually has some really good plays in here. So you got the DBO corner switch, which is really good. It's a double corner route. I mean, if you want to, you put A on a little clear out or something like that. But the route that B is on, I'm telling you, man, it's gotten me, and I've seen it get a lot of other people too. They think it's a slant, then he runs upfield. It'll get you. The double post play is actually really good. Dagger smash, a lot of quick step material in there. Strong flood is basic, but it's just what you need. And then this is the other formation. It's trio 4 wide receiver strong. A lot of the passing concepts are kind of similar to the other formation, but the good thing about it is you can kind of audible to it and you can run different stuff out of it. So they actually have a direct snap to the running back, which those runs are actually really good. You got some RPO stuff in there, and then you do have the Z spot, which I think is no, okay, fake screen wheels a little bit different. So, if you're a guy that wants to run 4 wide receivers, this is an option. Moving on to playback. Holy shit, we've done a lot of talk. Playbook number 8 is going to be Tulane. So going right into the Tulane playbook, you can see off the rip we got bunch tight ends. Something we haven't really talked about a whole lot so far, but the first bunch tight end we talked about, I want to say, what was it? And it was in Bowling Green. Didn't really have a lot to it. I think this one has a lot more to it. As you can see, there's a lot of default little motion type plays in it, which we've never really had in bunch tight end. You'll see the first one is motion H out. So you got a little Zik route there on the outside. B's coming over. He's running like a little out route. Tight end's on a corner route. This play looks pretty nasty. There's a brand new play right here. You got mesh dig. It looks like it's just a mesh concept with a little crosser. This play right here, I think, actually could be kind of nasty. Motion, tight end, hitch, halfback seam. So the slot receiver is going to come across the line and run a little wheel route. And the tight end sits down on a little hitch. The running back, you can kind of do whatever you want with him. But, yeah, that play looks kind of nasty. And then it's got your little, PA verticals. You guys can quick snap. You got a little RPO in here. So I think this bunch tight end definitely looks a lot better than the one in Bowling Green. They also do have bunch wide in this playbook as well. It's pretty basic. It's, not really, it's very comparable, I think, to probably, I want to say UCLA or Pitt's bunch wide, so it's cool. We got some trips tight end in this playbook as well. Trips tight end off weak side. I think it's I'm trying to see what's different about it. Nothing's really different about it from what we've talked about. It's all what you need. That's kind of it for this playbook, though, to be honest. One of the main reasons I kind of wanted to throw it on here was because they're very unique bunch tight end they have. I mean, we haven't seen anything like this really ever in any football game. Just some of the motion plays you have out of the bunch tight end makes it very unique. There is some other stuff too we could talk about, but a lot of it's stuff we've talked about. You got your wide trips in here. You got a little double stack. You can run doubles, audibles to the double stack. It's a lot of stuff we've already talked about. I'm just not going to re-talk about it again. This right here, though, is our very final playbook, Miami. Miami looks a lot different than it did last year. I ran Miami last year a little bit, and it was a lot of 2 tight end stuff, and a lot of that stuff is gone. It is not the same playbook anymore. For starters, you got bunch strong offset. I don't think I've ever even heard of a bunch strong offset. Why do I feel like this is new? Because you got bunch strong and then you got bunch offset. Or is that just what bunch strong is called? I don't even know anymore. I've been doing this for so long. I'm ready to get done. It does have a brand new play in here, though. You got Mills Y wheel. So the tight end runs a very deep wheel route all the way outside the numbers. Then you got all the inside stuff with the post route and all that. So that's pretty cool. Then, of course, you got your RPO out of it. You got wide trail. So I think this is a really good bunch. This playbook also has bunch wide as well. Bunch wide has definitely been put in a lot more playbooks. It's a really good formation. I think, like I said, you didn't see people run it a lot in 25, but I played against some people that really ran it and they knew what they were doing in it, and it was really good. So I think you're going to see it a lot more this year, especially since it's in more playbooks. But it's got the verticals, wide trail. They got a new play in here, curl deep corner. Depending on how deep A runs that could actually be pretty lethal. We do have some trips tight end in here. Trips tight end offset weak side. This one's it's a little boneless. I'm going to call it boneless. There's a little bit less to this than we've seen in some of the others, but it has just exactly what you need. Flood drive, verticals, middle slant, and the RPO. I mean, that's kind of damn near all you need. And then there's PA flood, for that default corner route. So it has exactly just what you need. No extra with it. It also does have the wing trips, which we've talked about this a little bit in the video. Really good stuff in here. You got dash flood, really good quick snap play. The halfback swing, very, very underrated play. Post curl, such a simple play, but just really, really good. Sprint out, Slot corner, another really good play, the RPO flat. We're going to talk about doubles for a quick second because there's a new play added in here that I think is actually going to be really good. You got this PA snag over play. I think this is going to be a very underrated play. You got the slot wide receiver coming over on that cross. B is running kind of like that inside hitch, and if I'm not, it kind of looks like also that B is lined up in the inside. He's kind of like in the slot, so this is kind of very similar to a normal what is it, Y off close, the Y sail you guys love running out of that. I think this flood play is a little bit similar to that. You get an RPO out of this, so I think this is a little bit of an underrated formation right here. And then, of course, you have your very standard doubles offset week, which has all the, basic stuff you got in doubles. You got sail, you got the PA digs play, which isn't bad. You got an RPO. I think we talked about this motion play right here a little bit. Motion PAZ over. And then it's got a pretty standard wide trips. You got your flat, sprint flood. Did we actually already talk about the wide trips? I don't even know if we talked about the wide trips. We already might have. I don't even know at this point. They got a new play, though. Curls, slot, whip. Nice little zig route right there. But there you go, man. Those are the 10 playbooks that I think off the rip in this game are going to be the best. There's probably some other playbooks that could be better than some of the ones I talked about, but out of all the ones that I looked at, I thought these ones looked really good. A ton of meta stuff in here. Normal Y off, trips tight end, many different bunches. We talked about tight, briefly talked about a little bit of empty. Wing trio, whatever it's going to be called. A bunch of stuff we talked about in here. You guys let me know down in the comments. What is going to be the playbook you're going with day one in college football 26? And that is also pretty much going to do it for this video, though, man. If you guys did enjoy this video, drop a like. And if you are not subbed to the channel, you might want to sub to the channel. We're going to be dropping a lot more content very similar to this in college football 26. Ton of Ultimate Team content as well. So if you guys are interested in it, man, you already know what to do. But until next time, man, I'll see y'all boys in the next one.